Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Today we are going to be talking about Spectral Reaper. So it's another one of my season hero guides. Spectral Reaper is an SX3 hero. He's an Archers hero. I do have him in my account. I got him in last season's Eden Rewards. So I'm going to be looking to develop him in the coming season. I'm currently collecting fragments for him. I've just got the one copy. So he is a ranged Archers hero. He is basically the top meta back row Archers hero in the game. For me, he is in the top 5 heroes in the game. You are going to want to get him. He is an absolute pure killer. So let's have a look at what he's got under the bonnet. So he has obviously got skill 1, as usual, up to the 23,100 increased marching capacity. His first hero specific skill, skill 2, Tamashi Kasari. So it's a passive skill. So this is a skill that will activate after basic attacks. The effective range is 5, so it will target any of your opponent's 3 squads. And then it's a 35% chance to attack again after basic attacks to the same target, dealing significant damage. So this maxes out at 742 damage. So a huge amount of damage to one troop, one squad, and making them unable to recover troops for 1 turn. So it's got a troop recovery block as well. So say if you were up against any of the heroes such as Lawman, Army Breaker, Bleeding Steed, Skander, for instance, particularly like Lawman and Skander, where their troop recovery is such a key part of what they do. If this skill activates, then you are going to help, really control. Well, that's going to be a nice part of CC for you if your opponent's not able to recover those troops. Particularly as that's coming from a killer hero as well. It's a nice added bonus. The only downside is it is a passive skill. You do have to have those basic attacks for it even to have a chance of activating. Skill 3, of course, is the usual defensive formation skill, increasing your troop resistance by up to 50%, and skill 4 is the usual offensive formation, increasing the troop might in your squad by up to 50%. His 5th skill, Jabaku, so it's a combat skill. This one has an effective range of 4, and it will target 1 random enemy squad within effective range. This is a 40% chance to deal up to, what does this max at? On here it's 308%, but that's not quite correct. I think it will be way more than that when the buffs are included. And this also increases basic attack damage for self squad for 1 turn. So the key element in this is it gives you an extra 60% basic attack damage for your self squad. Now, basically, everything that Spectral Reaper is doing is aimed at buffing his basic attacks. So he's a pure killer, and we'll see that in a minute. So skill 6, his leadership skill, he's giving the extra 15% might and resistance and an extra 15% damage, as you would expect from a killer hero, back row hero, and then the usual 250% bonus leadership skills, increasing the troop count, etc. Skill 7 is the additional 40% might, as you would expect, and then his 8th skill, which is almost impossible for an English person to pronounce, Jakuyu Shingon. Let's go with that. It's a status skill, so this is one of these excellent status skills that is going to be active from the beginning of the battle, constantly active. It can't be countered, and so this is why the effective range is 1, because it's targeting your squad. So self squad's basic attack damage is increased by up to 100%. That's the basic attack damage. So this is just super buffing your troops, basically. And then this is a very, very cool element to his arsenal as well. So when the enemy is tallying skill range, this squad is considered to be +1 range away. Effectively, if you have this skill unlocked, you are making Spectral Reaper on a 4th row in the squad, effectively. So If you are against like your opponent's back row hero, if they've got a range 5 attacking skill, it can't reach them. Their middle row hero, if they've got range 4, it can't reach them. Front row heroes, their range 3 skills can't reach them. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of battle videos with Spectral Reaper to kind of look at these skills in action. One thing to note with this fifth skill is, from what I understand from what I've seen in the battle videos, this +1 range only impacts combat damage skills. It does not combat. It's not effective in terms of any CCing elements of a skill, and we're going to see that in the next video now. So we're going to get straight into a battle video. This is from a heroes duel this week between one of the fellow players in my alliance, Alex, and then Giant Tandem from State 83. Giant is the player with Spectral Reaper, and you can see that actually Alex beat him in this round. Now Alex has a couple of Dragon Master gear, which is going to give him a lot of extra buffs, and obviously we're State 55, State 83 are significantly behind us. Alex has always been one of our more developed players. He's got very advanced research, etc. So you need to kind of factor all of those things in. Also, you can see that this is the Immortal Guardian Tarantula Spectral Reaper combination, which for me, I don't think that this is the best. I think Spectral Reaper really needs Defender with him to get the best out of him with all the kind of buffs that Defender gives to Spectral Reaper. And actually, ironically, this combo is up against Alex's Immortal Guardian Tarantula Jade Eagle combination. So we're going to get into the battle now and see what's going on. So Giant's down here. So this bottom line is Spectral Reapers. So pre-battle, we're just having all the status and prep skills activating. Now there's a couple of things. You're going to see the good and the bad of Spectral Reaper in this battle. So let's just get these initial attacks out of the way. Now, did you see that Jade Eagle's basic attack did 3,100 damage? So these are the two comparable heroes are directly comparable, right? So now we're going to see Spectral Reaper. So he's got his Jabaku skill that's doing that amount of damage. And then do you see he actually killed 5,000 troops on the front row compared to the minimal, basically half the amount that are being killed from the basic attacks on his own front row. Now, this is what's interesting is that Jade Eagle's fifth skill activated, and it has a disarm element in it when he's up against archers, and you'll see that there we go. Your back row with Reaper, his archers were disarmed as well, so that's why I consider that it's not impacting. So this heat-seeking strike, okay, it can target all three. Now that was actually a Jade Eagle hitting. Jabaku again from Spectral Reaper, hitting the middle row this time. Again, it's doing a nice amount of damage. Do you see as well the over 10,000 troops killed? That's because Jabaku activated previously, and then you're getting that extra 60% damage to the next basic attack for the turn. So did you see the huge amount of damage that your basic attacks are doing at least? Now this is a heat-seeking strike. So did you see there again, that can target, that's not targeting the back row because it's out of range, but it is disarming it still. That is the problem in this battle. We're going to see another Jabaku, but of course Immortal Guardian does have a good amount of defensive buffs on their troops. And again, we see another heat-seeking strike getting ready as well. So just in this combination, it was really unfortunate that this Legion with Spectral Reaper in was actually up against a really tough opponent. But if you look, this +6 range, right? You see we're on the 6th round of the battle, not a single troop lost from the back row. So the idea of that 8th skill is that obviously your troops are the ones that are doing the damage for you, and it's protecting them from getting attacked, it's doing that element of it perfectly. But if you're up against an opponent who has the CC elements of disarming or suppression, where they can stop the troops fighting, then you're in trouble. And you can see that obviously in this battle, the troops have not done the damage. The other problem is that Reaper's second skill relies on the troops basic attacking, and I think it's only 35% chance. So it hasn't, on the other turns that where the troops have basic attacked, it didn't activate, which is another issue with him. So if Reaper is up against like a Legion that has got a lot of CCing ability, such as the Army Breaker, Son of Ragnar, Avalanche combo, then he does struggle, because if he can be silenced, then he can't get all these attacks off. He's not going to do the damage. Now I do want to just quickly show a second video from my schedule with a battle that I was up with Ledi. Just in Heroes Duel. Now this is my class up against her, the combination of Reaper with Immortal Guardian, Jade Eagle, and Spectral Reaper. Now, as I've done my kind of Archers combination video, and I've talked about this already, this combo, that you've got two killer heroes, but you don't have a. This is what you've got to think about, is that you really do need good synergy between the three heroes in your Legion. You've got Immortal Guardian, who basically, he will do a bit of recovery and for the first 3 turns, and he'll also, reduce the damage taken. But after that, he's all about himself, effectively. His second skill is about reducing damage. He's not, after turn 4, you're basically not getting any support in this combination, and that is going to, and you're not getting, well, you're also up against this combination, as I said, where I've got Army Breaker and the Avalanche with their crowd control elements. So I'm not going to run this at normal speed. I'm going to kind of rush through it. We will at least see Spectral Reaper's second skill in effect towards the end of the battle. But what happens with this combination, you see, is that with the cavalry, for instance, Warlord is activating his skill on the 1st, 3rd, 5th and 7th. He's activating one of the other two heroes' 8th skill, which if it is Army Breaker, then you're getting a load of buffs. So look, you see the troops are getting silenced. There is some CC in effect for the Archers. Again, silenced again. Jade Eagle. So Jade Eagle is not able to get any of his skills off to have an impact on the battle. And even though at the moment Spectral Reaper, his troops as usual are perfectly protected, you haven't lost any troops off that back row, all of the attacks are getting directed towards the front 2 rows. Here we go, Tamashi. So this is Jakura, 9,100 damage. And then this is that's the second skill with that 742% damage. So it did 15,000 kills. So if you can get that activated on top of the extra damage done, but you just don't have any other support. Did you see that hack and slash? And there's a Tamashi again. Again, nearly. So that's a nice amount of damage. But your opponent, so the Avalanche is just absolutely tearing into this Legion because there wasn't enough support, there wasn't enough balance. And there we go, one more hack and slash. Spectral Reaper is not doing anything to protect his troops. Immortal Guardian at this point isn't either. So they're just completely open, and they got absolutely annihilated in that battle. So I hope, like, usually I don't cover 2 battles, but I wanted to kind of show all elements of him in effect. And I know I've shown quite a lot of negativity in this video, but I just wanted to give a balanced review of him, that if he's in the right combination, so if you put him with Defender, if you watch the Defender video that I've put out, in fact I could run that as well, you'll see that the troops are doing a tremendous amount of damage. In fact, let's just very quickly run through that. So my friend Felix was kind enough to share a battle report with me with Defender and Spectral Reaper earlier in the day. So I'm really sorry, I just got to scroll through. Here we go. So this is perhaps going to show him in a better light. So this combination, which is Defender, Skybreaker and Spectral Reaper, were up against a fairly weak Cavs Legion of Windwalker, Bulwark and Lionheart. And the battle only lasted for 6 turns. And again, I'm going to just play this at max speed to show you kind of the best case scenario where you're pairing Spectral Reaper with Defender, and Defender is going to help buff Spectral Reaper, and you're going to see like a lot of, there we go, Jabaku. This is like what happens if you see this Archers Legion up against not quite a meta Cavalry Legion. It will just absolutely destroy them. So if this Legion doesn't have any kind of crowd control against it, you can just see it's just going to obliterate them, and that's what Spectral Reaper does here. You've got Defender's Heavenly Smite skill activating 32,000, 38,000. There was over 40,000 damage on that one turn. So that was Defender's Heavenly Smite. It basically makes 2 squads in your Legion attack twice. And you can just see the damage being done as well. 16,000 kills off basic attacks because of all this buffing that you're getting. There's another Heavenly Smite here. A Tamashi as well. Nearly 21,000 kills with that skill. And then we've got another Heavenly Smite. So that's Defender's front row getting the benefit of that. And then another Tamashi to finish it off. So you can see the differences with Spectral Reaper. If you put him with the Defender and the Defender doesn't get crowd controlled, you will obliterate your opponent for sure. It's guaranteed basically. So Defender and Spectral Reaper, and then if you have a nice balance, either you're protecting them with a Mortal Guardian, or you have a Skybreaker in there. He's going to work in lots of different combinations. If you have him, you want him in your Archers Legion. He's going to be a long-term hero. I think for the next 6 to 9 months, through most of 2021, I'm sure that Spectral Reaper will be the best back row Archers hero in the game, and it's going to take a lot for him to be displaced from that position, to be honest. Literally, you can put him, he's always going to be on the back row, and as long as you have a defensive hero like an Immortal Guardian or a Defender in front of him, and then you can you can put almost any kind of, if either you put or if you have both Immortal Guardian and Defender, then you can have him also with you can put the Tarantula in the middle. You can even go, as we saw, Skybreaker, which isn't a great synergy. That's why it's not at the very top. I'm pretty sure if you put like Sakura Blossom on the front row, and then Tarantula, and then Spectral Reaper, that works. Basically, he's because most of his skills harness the ability of the troops. He kind of synergizes well in the fact that he's not ultimately relying on other heroes so much, but it's just that the Defender boosts him by that extra amount compared to other heroes. So there we go. And in terms of skills, well, because of this Ape skill, and he's a back row hero, you want to unlock the Ape skill first, then the 6th skill, then the 7th skill. There we go, guys. That is everything on Spectral Reaper. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please click on the like below, and I'd be really interested to hear your comments about him, how you're getting on with him in the game. As I say, for me, he is a top 5 hero in the game, and in this video I've kind of highlighted all of his super strengths, but also some of his weaknesses that you could come across when using him. If you haven't already, why not click on that subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notifications whenever I'm dropping videos on the channel, which is daily. And if you could please share my channel in your Alliance chat, Province chat, and through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game, that would be absolutely brilliant. That's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.